the box there, starting live. Well, there you go. Thanks very much, Jitsi. Better late than never. Hi, hello to anyone who's watching this. You're watching a game that's rings true to Gauntlet, which is a community on the internet that gets together and plays tabletop role-playing games online. You can find us gauntlet-rpg.com. You find all the stuff that the Gauntlet does, including blogs, forums. There's the monthly zine that is Codex, where we find supplements to existing games and original games in itself. Would like to shout out one of those original games is doing their Kickstarter. It's a game called Trophy. I'll put a link down below. Dark haunted fantasy. Well, it started off as dark haunted fantasy forest adventurers going off to find treasure and damning themselves to a grisly end of many regards. But now it's kind of blossomed into something else. You can check out the Kickstarter campaign for that. So one more ridiculous stretch goal to go. It's so ridiculous that it involves a number of writers in the double digits. That's how ridiculous it is. And I shan't say more. Just check the Kickstarter link there. Anyway, we're doing Band of Blades, as always, session 10. You know what it is. If you're watching, if you've made it to the 10th session. Part of me thinks it should be professional to go to whoever it is again and whatnot, but it's 10 sessions. Basic pitch: Band of Blades, dark military fantasy, Strash Ashamovic, John LaBouffe Little. If you think I'm skirting over important stuff, I implore anyone who's somehow jumped into this to go to the very start. And by the very start, I mean session 2, because session 1 got eaten by YouTube gremlins. It's actually really annoying. But session 2 is also a very good jumping on point. You can start the travails of this particular legion as they make the retreat across the continent of Aldermark. We are over the halfway point. We are over the hump, so to speak. We have made it to last session. We made it to East Lake, the less, I guess, the more paranoid but less secure, but somehow not untouched by the war cousin of Westlake. We did our usual mission stuff. We fought one enemy one last time, though it was less of a final boss and more like a sad climactic, we brought you back for the sequel sort of boss, just to emphasize how things are more rough now. These metaphors completely make sense, I hope. Then we did that, and you managed to finish it off. And now we go back at camp. So, our master, we turn to our Lord Keeper. Your choices for high morale frames have dwindled to 1. But I guess that depends on the morale. So before we jump into the campaign phase, let's do back at camp. So I'll turn to our Lord Keeper. David, take it away.
Certainly. I believe we're still at high morale, aren't we?
Yes, that's correct.
Cool. So I think, if memory serves, we only have one choice remaining for high morale before we have to start recycling stuff or doing something different.
No. What happens is you have to choose from the list below.
Cool. Yeah, that
war just grinds you down.
Yeah, exactly. Why would why would we get anything nice? This one I've been saving for a good moment. So the scene that we have today is a young soldier is detonating munitions egged on by others. So it looks like we're going to have some fun with rookies again, as seems to be the theme for these back to camp scenes.
I mean, God bless those rookies. At least they're not dealing with terrible stuff like, lost morale, people dying, bad supplies. I'm looking at these other prompts and if this is the most we have the command staff or the specialists have to deal with, a bunch of rookies not knowing what to do with themselves, it's all good.
I think So I think we're still at East Lake. So I think I think somebody has had the bright idea of dynamiting for fish because they've heard that's a thing you can do. And to have a send off before we leave East Lake and have a nice meal and stuff. Somebody has volunteered or been volunteered to start hurling some high explosive into the lake and attempt to dredge up whatever floats to the surface.
Can I suggest that instead of we've had the marshal come in every time we had these rookies draw off, can we have one of the specialists instead, or maybe even one of the promoted soldiers come by and do the requisite veteran has to impart wisdom or judgment. Sorry, I just saw Chris's suggestion there.
Let's see. I'm just thinking if there's a specific rookie I want to be doing the dynamiting.
Sorry, the internet frizzed up there. Did you say something specific, David? Or
oh no, I was just mulling over which I was also thinking Theonin, I must admit.
For those who don't remember, Theonin is the cocksure rookie who totally, oh my god, he has a picture now. Arrogant, kind of undisciplined, might be a heavy someday. Oh my god, he looks like a prick.
Oh, go on. And I think that Cyprian is definitely one of the other rookies who's been egging him on.
Cyprian, who we last saw have a religious experience in a church.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm whoever wants to grab whoever is good. I will probably pick someone else, another rookie to bring in if needed, or come in with a specialist. But yeah, does anyone want to grab Theonin or Cyprian or someone else?
I'll get Cyprian if that's cool with everybody.
Good by me.
See, I'll be happy to play Theonin.
Cool.
David, are you going to play a rookie or a specialist?
I might jump in with one of the specialists, or someone on the command staff. Something to come in and see what's going on. So I will leave it to you to take it away.
Cool.
So yeah, I think. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think yes. I mean, as sort of mentioned, I think it's maybe getting towards sunset. It's a bit before sort of dinner's supposed to be served, and yeah, I think there's obviously Theonin has got hold of a stash of explosives. Cyprian and probably some other rookies are all standing around as these charges are going off in the water, and maybe someone else is there with like a big net to drag in the fish that float to the surface.
Sorry, my go-to NPC rookie is Adramir, but he's a soldier now. I think Theonin is being helped egged on by one of the bandits, one of your laborers, who has basically said like, yeah. So back where I came from, which is north of West Lake. It's like Northwest Lake or West North Lake, depending. This is completely how we got fish, because the secret thing about fishing lines is that like the best stuff are kind of like expensive, Well, dynamite's fairly cheap around these pots, Sorry, my accent is moving from one to another. This is terrible. This guy is waving a stick of dynamite. Yes, Northwest Lake Valley girl bandit. But yeah, they're waving the stick of dynamite, and they're like, yeah. So what you want to do is you want to keep the fuse fairly short because it's water. Water is wet, as we all know. Although I've heard some conjecture that water is not actually wet; it just makes things wet. But so in a sense, it cannot be what it makes. But anyway, water will make things wet, and you know what thing doesn't like to be wet? Fire. And so you want to keep the fuse small. Now, sorry, feel free to interrupt at this point because I'm
just throw. You can just throw it. Just throw the bomb into the lake. It's cool. Just look at the sunset and look at the beautiful reflection on the lake, and then think of that exploding.
See, Theonin basically is kind of hefting the stick for weight, like he's going seeing, and he said, and he's just going to basically throw that thing as far as he can, as hard as he can, which is probably the worst possible thing because that means you're going to have to go out there and find, somebody's going to have to get a boat because he's got an arm across the across the lake and hits, I figure he can toss something that you're probably looking at least 50, 60 yards offshore. Because this is just a stick. This isn't like a keg of black powder or anything.
Do you want to do a fortune roll just to see how well he does?
Oh, sure.
Might as well.
Sure. Let me bring him up, and I will throw a fortune roll.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that would be, I guess a fortune roll based on prowess, maybe.
Specialist roll 3 dice. See how he does. I was like, Chris, your internet is a bit slow. You've been
Sorry.
No worries.
I'll try. Let's see.
God damn.
Holy crap! Okay, it's 100. It's 100 yards offshore.
Yeah. The former bandit's like, whoo. You got some throwing arms there, boy.
And we wait maybe an uncomfortable amount of time, and it's like, oh no, we forgot to light it. Oh no, but then it explodes. There's a massive explosion in the middle of the lake.
Yeah, and I think the gaggle of rookies will be like, whoa. And obviously the entire camp would hear it.
And of course Theonin's like super happy with himself, so he's just like, yeah, he's like pumping his arms and giving a whoop as the explosion goes off, and because he hasn't thought about actually trying to go get whatever fish float to the surface after that, because nobody's got a boat right here.
Nope,
everybody brought some little cast nets, thinking they could just throw those out there. But there's nothing we got that's going to pull anything in from that far.
I hear that if it explodes close enough to a fish, it's you get a cooked fish.
That's poppycock. What did I just say about water and how it turns things wet? You ever, unless you're thinking of making dynamite fish soup over there, that don't make no sense, boy. Where is this accent? So, I'm sorry. I just finished watching the entirety of Band of Brothers, so it's like a multitude of accents are rolling over me.
Well, the water takes on the heat of the energy from the explosive, and it transfers that to the fish, like it's boiled fish.
Yeah, but you don't boil fish on a pot that's like miles and miles and miles long. You know where that energy goes? Every goddamn where. That's why you cook things in pots to keep the energy cooped in. That's why nobody cooks anything in lakes. Lakes are highly inefficient for the cooking methods. And he's still waving the stick of dynamite. You probably shouldn't let him have that.
Wait, are you one of the people that came in? You're new in camp, right? Are you a new soldier or a rookie?
Uh, no. I think he realizes his place in the camp hierarchy, and it's just, well, not exactly. I'm part of the support staff. I'm here to. Me and my folks were promised some protection, and in exchange, we decided we here to help with your labor and whatnot.
Well,
On
ammunition.
point.
So, you can, if you wanted to join, take the oath. It's real cool. Like you get to go fight monsters, and you learn how to fight, and that part's pretty great. My rib is broken, so that's not great.
He the bandit, we'll give a name that's not me looking at my desk looking for names, like gives Thanin a look, big buff Thanin, and it's like, and I think he's 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 a bit intimidated. The idea has not really like come to his head, like, well, the protection you lot are giving my folks are pretty good, and I do know how to fight. Well, I know which side of a sword hurts. So it's just, I don't know. I heard things about the Legion that you kind of give everything up, and you just you join, you make the oath, and now you're not anyone's but the Legions. Is any truth to that matter?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's true. But give it a few months, and I mean, the undead and the Cinder King will probably have like taken out pretty much everybody else on the continent. So there wouldn't really be many people to belong to except the Legion. So that's good news.
Wow.
And I think at this point, I think it's actually I think it's going to be Miloslav Zayevich, the officer, is going to turn up onto the scene, and he says, "Well, evening, soldiers. It looks like your runner hasn't yet arrived at the command tent. When did you send him off?"
The other rookies just kind of like stand to attention. It's an officer here.
I think Theonin basically is he's still kind of uppity when it comes to Melislav. So he is like he does not do the jerk to salute thing. And I think he's still jazzed about his ridiculously awesome dynamite toss.
Only we've heard reports of explosives being set off in this region, so I can only assume that we are under assault from the undead, or I cannot see what other reason you would have for throwing explosives around.
The bandit laborer is kind of like just sitting there. He didn't go up to salute. He's not part of the Legion. But he kind of like, it was kind of his idea. He kind of egged on the rookies, but he has like a wary eye on Thanin and on Cyprian, like, am I allowed to talk in this scenario?
Oh, sir, sir, we got a note from the quartermaster that some of the explosives were about to expire. They have a shelf life, and after that, they just start to sweat nitroglycerin, and that's we don't need that. So we were told to dispose of the of expired explosives in a safe way, and we thought we might try and scare up some dinner while doing that.
Well, that certainly sounds plausible. As it happens, I am on my way to have dinner with the quartermaster, so I am sure that she will be able to verify your story. And I didn't quite hear what she said was on the menu, but I certainly am partial to a bit of fresh fish.
Well, great. Did you know that you can cook the fish in the lake? Sorry.
No. The band labor's like, They're nodding along.
Well, I once you have disposed of all the unsafe explosives, I have no doubt that you will, if you have a surplus of fish, I'm sure we can put it to good use.
Oh, is this where the resist came from? That's why you didn't consume that food from last session? Because one of the consequences was you used up a food bringing all these bandits, but they brought their knowledge of dynamite fishing.
Yeah, and yeah, I think that's probably we can leave the scene there unless anyone wishes to add anything else.
I think Theonin, is after Melislav has walked off, says, "Does anybody know where we can get a boat?"
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I love to get all the heartfelt light scenes out of the way. We've run out of those now. We're now in the mid-tier morale. Fun stuff. Anyway, so back at camp is done. So now we move on to the campaign phase. Time passes. So commander, time and pressure increased by 1. I think this is our first increase in this location. So odds are really well for when we advance. How's our time doing, actually?
We are like 3/4 of the way through that second clock. We've got 2 open spaces left now.
Ooh, you could fill both of them when you advance, but you're going to be rolling, because of the project, you're rolling 0 pressure, so why not?
Yeah, so it's a and we might be rolling less depending on how we do that. How we advance or what we use. I think we have a use of horses left.
Oh, but you still have that map project that reduces the pressure dice by 1. So you don't even have to use horses because you're going to be rolling with 1 pressure. But with that map project, you're actually going to roll with 0 pressure.
Oh, I think that gives us like a fortune roll, right? At 0?
Yes. Well, what happens is when it's 0, you roll 2 dice and take the lowest.
Oh, then yeah, we won't need to use the horses then. Excellent.
Yeah, keep those beautiful fire mains for when you need them. Although, looking at this map, I don't know how horses will help you traverse either the high road or the maw. We'll see. I don't know. I've not read those locations. Anyway, there are 2 locations away. All right, Quartermaster. We'll spend 1 food used to feed the Legion. Do we have enough food, Quartermaster?
Yep, we're spending 1 food to feed the Legion.
Oh yeah. How much food do we have left? We're doing fine.
We just got a full one from that last mission.
Hell yeah. All right. Oh, geez, you got tons of supply. And Lord Keeper, have enough legionnaires died that you must tell a tale?
Sorry, lost the tab there. Yeah, no, we've not lost any more since the last time. We only need to lose a couple more to get a new tale. So we'll see how our secondary mission goes. But
It'll be fine. Actually, there's a fun thing about. We'll get there. Sorry. There's a thing that's gonna happen at Fort Calisco. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, I'm looking at the effects for the next tale. Pretty good, but yeah, I'll get those unless people die. All right, so that's time passes. So Quartermaster, we've got campaign actions and a shit ton of supplies. So what's on your mind, Quartermaster?
Yes, we're going shopping.
Ooh.
Let's start with this place has a good asset rating, and we're loaded up with supply, so we're probably gonna spend a lot of it. What do we want to get first? Let's go for food first.
Seems that simple enough. When you acquire assets, you beg, borrow, and steal an asset you need. You roll the asset rating. Result indicates the quality of the asset. In East Lake, laborers, siege weapons, and alchemical concoctions. Mercies, alchemists, and siege weapons are standard quality. In most others, they'd be fine or exceptional. But yeah, let's start with food. Got fish, apparently. So let's make that assets roll. The assets rating in this place is 3.
And that's a 5, so that's standard. So that's good enough to get us another cart of.
Jesus, you're all really stacked. There's probably something in the book that's like, oh, here's how to denude supplies even more. Nah, this is fine.
We really got set up well by that last set of missions, and
yeah. Well,
both the primary and secondary really set us up. Okay, so we're good for food. Let's go ahead and use our second action for. Let's go for a siege weapon.
Ooh.
I'm not going to pass up this chance to get one on the cheap.
As opposed to having to go into a mission.
We have a mercy. We have 2 alchemists. We don't have any siege weapons.
Yeah, I think siege weapons like the one thing you don't have. Everything else you do.
Damn. Okay, so I'm going to have to spend a supply to boost that by 1, the standard.
Oh yeah, because you rolled a 3. I think 3 threes. 3 threes.
I heard you can get them cheap here, but they're making me shell out.
Yeah, I think
they're like, we kind of feel like we might be needing these soon. And I'm like, no, don't worry about it.
No, what happened is they've heard about how the Legion snubbed the East Lake Militia mission. So you're really going to have to pony up for them to show you the good stuff. They're showing you like a bunch of crap cannons, a trebuchet that like that you need to rig the pulley system, or like a big ballista but it's missing the big string. So you need to pay up.
Yeah, I suppose I could take a poor one and then make a project to fix it, actually get it operational.
Yeah, so you don't have to spend a supply.
So I don't have to spend a supply. I guess we have laborers now to work on a project.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
How big of a clock will that?
It'll be 4. You've got laborers, and because if this was an East Lake, I would make it like a 6 or maybe even an 8 to refurbish it. But because here siege weapons are standard quality, it would be 4 steps.
Yeah, I don't have anything else for the laborers to do. Let's go ahead and do that.
Cool. So yeah, keep that supply.
I'll keep that supply because I kind of want to load up on everything here because it's going to get harder anywhere else. Okay, so I gotta make a new project.
Well, I should make it harder for everyone else. You notice you keep getting missions where like, oh, this is we're lacking in some of this, huh?
Okay.
All right, so that's your 2 actions because you're high morale. But yeah, you got 4 supply. You can spend those to do more actions.
Okay. And the laborers are going to just work on fixing up that siege weapon.
Yes.
Let's do black shot next. Spending a supply to do another action.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that worked.
Yeah.
And
Jesus, the quartermaster is just.
well, this is the place to do it. This is the place to spend the supply. It's got a good asset rating. Okay, and let's go ahead and let's get some more horses so we're not. We can spend them if we need to. That's a 4, so that works too.
Yeah, it's all working really well. You got your horses. You got your black shot. You got a fairly okay siege weapon you need to build up.
We at least have a siege weapon. It's not working yet, but we'll get there. The laborers will get us that for free eventually. Horses. And so we've got 2 supply left. How are we doing on stress? Do we need
let's see here. Yeah, we got a fair amount of stress going around. I think we do have 1, 2, 3 specialists who have low to no stress. Other than that, we're in the 4s and 5s, and amongst our rookies and soldiers, let's see. There's not too much amongst our rookies and soldiers, except for one of the ones that accompanied us on our last mission, Cyprian, is pretty stressed out.
Also nursing that broken rib. It's fine because it gives him potency. It's fine, apparently.
Well, so it sounds like our specialists are basically are pretty bad. So do you think we should take a liberty or push it for another?
It might be an idea to go for that, but I guess it would depend what else we'd use that action for. But yeah,
I would probably just be. I guess I would just be saving the supply at that point because we've got horses, black shot, food, religious supplies. We don't need to recruit more rookies.
I will say, if not to tip my hand on what's coming up next, but I would strongly recommend doing Liberty.
Yeah,
and strongly.
And I'm tempted to try to get either another siege weapon or what are the other 2 things? Is Mercies and Alchemists?
Yeah,
siege weapons are all standard. It's very tempted to just go ahead and get those now because they're a lot harder to get anywhere else.
Yeah, I'm just worried about your stress.
Yeah, I know.
More stress, less room to maneuver for.
Yeah.
For when we get into the mission, like we could do it, like we saw Farah do that in the Gothic urban vampire the masquerade mission you all did, but you don't want to do that with every. It's fine if one specialist is in that mode, but if a lot of them are,
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
tricky.
Oh, it's tempting to go and roll the acquire assets because as long as I get a standard result, then I could also spend that second supply, and we could take liberty.
Yeah.
What should I get? Should I get another siege weapon or
Siege weapons, they usually, what they do is like, they alter how you focus on certain missions, but they also add to like your final score. When we get to the end. To the end.
Another mercy wouldn't hurt either. What would it mean to have a poor quality on a mercy though? Why don't we do siege weapon, assuming I can take that same bargain of like it just needs repairs?
Yeah, but it will be a separate clock.
Yeah, it'll be a separate clock, and then I can just actually take actions to fill it.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to do that. Okay, so we're going to get another siege weapon.
Yeah, roll.
I believe we rolled better this time.
Here's hoping. Hey!
6. It's a good quality. We got the bulk discount for the second one.
Yeah, they took pity on you because you took the crap one, and you're actually actively working to fix it. And they're like, fine, we can spare you a thing.
Okay. And then I'm going to spend our last supply on Liberty. So everybody loses 3 stress, except for who are the ones that can boost their own actions? They could lose all their stress.
It's Farah and Cyprian, both of whom have quite a bit of stress. So they get rid of all that.
Oh, and then our alchemists. I'm actually going to have our alchemists.
Ooh. What do you got them doing?
What? You can't. These sheets are so good, but the alchemists, you cannot just click on them to have them roll their action.
No, I think. Hold on, let me.
So I'll just have to roll.
Let me double check. What you do with alchemist?
I think you roll the number of alchemists you have, and you actually roll it twice. Once to see how much. Oh, that's right. They actually, you don't necessarily roll. You have to choose between whether it's a
acquire
project or an acquire asset roll.
Yes. Yeah, they can they can cure diseases and make alchemicals for the Legion.
Yeah, we're going to be making alchemicals.
So basically, basically what they'll do is it'll get you like this free like supply action for alchemicals. So usually the medic is the only one who can equip those bandoliers and have stuff like night vision or whatnot. But
yeah, I know there's I don't have my. Oh wait, who's the what specialist has that on their sheet so I can see what the alchemicals that are possible. If anybody has an opinion as far as what alchemical they should be making, feel free to speak up via. So Owl Sight, Chem Balm, Deep, or Rage Venom.
Yeah. Owl Sight lets you see in the dark. Chem Balm neutralizes poisons, most poisons and toxins. Deep lets you hold your breath for a scene. And Rage Venom gives you physical potency for a scene. But you have to make Resolve Resist to avoid attacking friend and foe indiscriminately.
I think we're moving away from the lake, so the time to get deep is maybe past. Not worried about drowning, I don't think, up ahead. But who knows? I don't know what's to come.
That one that gives us dark sight might be useful if we choose to take the cave route.
Yeah.
Going into the maw. I don't know that we're going to do that, but like that might be a good thing to have.
What about?
I haven't looked at it in a long time. I feel like thinking the maw seemed like the more difficult path.
I'll give you the write-up.
I looked at it a long time ago, so I don't really remember. But
the high road is like it's a treacherous, like high peaks route, but the maw is the riskier ancient passage with the weird, spooky nonsense.
So yeah, I guess if you're really up for weird, spooky nonsense, that's the way to go. I feel like Owlsight could be useful even if we don't go to the Maw, though. So we can just go with that.
Cool.
So yeah, is that a project that they're brewing up, or is it an acquire asset?
I'm gonna say it's acquire assets. Outside is something like it sounds like something they could easily kind of conjure up in their sleep. And
Use the acquire.
oh, go ahead.
Well, how does it work if we? What do we have to roll on it?
You roll dice equal to the number of alchemists in your legion.
Yeah.
And it will act like the acquire asset. So whatever the highest will affect the quality of Owlsight, and that will affect how much Owlsight you'll actually get.
Got it. Okay. So normally alchemical concoctions are fine. So I guess we're hoping for a 6 here.
Mm-hmm. It's 5. Yeah.
Maybe
so
they just got less of it, or
I think it's gonna be less of it. Actually, no. Usually, Owlsight lasts for 24 hours. I'll say you get all of it, but because you're in the middle of a move and these alchemists have not got much action in a while, and so I think instead of Owlsight is 24 hours, is like they've tried to create enough for the Legion, but it's only gonna last like for a scene or like in action like 10 minutes, which is a very big come down, but Owlsight's kind of precise. So you can say you can have like everyone can have a use of Owlsight. 10 minutes. There we go.
okay.
Is that fair?
And now I need to roll for corruption for our alchemist.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you roll the same number of dice for
see
corruption. You roll the same number of
any way
dice. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna roll 2d6.
All right. So for 5, you get 2 points of corruption to distribute them amongst your alchemists.
Okay. I guess they will just both take 1 each.
Seems fair.
That's
perfect.
Okay.
All right. Nice to actually use those alchemists. All right. I think that's it for campaign actions. That was pretty hefty. You all loaded for bear now. You ready to take on anything? Sounds good. Commander, is the Legion advancing?
Yes, we are advancing.
Oh yeah. So as the Legion advances, the commander will roll pressure to see how much time they accumulate. The quartermaster may spend horses to lower pressure for this roll, although, as we already talked about, you're rolling with 0 pressure.
Okay, so I'm going to roll here.
Yeah, I think, you just click it and take the lowest. Oh, it's still a 4.
Okay, so...
so that clock's going to fill up.
Yep, the summer ends. That second clock is now full. Fall deepens and Panyar burns.
Yeah, so I think when the commander of the East Lake Militia was talking to y'all about maybe going to that town near Panyar, she told you enough to where to look to where Panyar is. And as you're leaving, I think you see fires. You see a firestorm in the horizon of Panyar. And then you know which broken is over there. And I think you leave East Lake with some ill will probably at you because you're leaving East Lake to fend against that. But yeah, undead everywhere. I don't even want to ask each of you to add anything to that. You just see a storm of fire brewing over the forest of Panyar. Sure, your chosen's probably feeling good about that. Speaking of which, you do need to choose an ability for her. Remind everyone, chosen who've not seen in a while because she went into mourning. Oh boy, chosen of the horned one, who is from Panyar. So while you do that, I'm gonna look through our broken and choose a new ability for them. So actually, we're at the top of the hour. Let's take Let's take a good 5-minute break. Actually, no, let's take 9. Let's come back 10 past, and then when we come back, well, we've chosen a chosen ability, and yeah, I'll choose for the broken, and then we'll move to Fort Calisco and all the fun stuff that'll happen there. So we'll see you in 9. BRB.
There's nothing inside. Will it always be burning down the walls? Is there a way for me to break? I'm a sharpshooter at Paul's masquerade. I'm in both face and mind, all free for you to draw. I'm a shapeshifter
Yeah, I've never actually properly listened to that video, but that was some graceless looping that happened right there. That was just like kind of looping. It's like, All right, I think we're just waiting on David. Cool. Everyone's back. Everyone's doing fine. Well, as fine as. Well, no, you got time. Oh, you got an entire clock. It's fine. All fine. All right. So, Legion is moving on to Fort Calisco. Crossing through some forest. I think I want to just a check in on the Legion as a whole. Normally we do like, oh, okay, what does it look like when the Legion's like establishing themselves in a new place? But I kind of want this time instead. I'm going to ask each of you for a detail of the Legion as they're moving from East Lake to Fort Calisco. And honestly, to their left and to the right are forests that are kind of messed up. To the right, there's like a brewing, strange, brilliant orange firestorm in the skies. But to your left, the Talgon forest, the Resh forest, there's this weird purple miasma kind of like rising from the trees. It's like this dense sort of sizzling kind of fog. And yeah, I kind of want a detail from each of you of the Legion as they make their way to Fort Calisco.
I think one thing that's very noticeable and very like in sharp contrast to like anyone else you see anyone else traveling on these roads is like, a refugee basically. Whereas the Legion, it just got like they've got fresh horses, and these horses are, and all their carts and stuff are just loaded down with like the Legion is more flush with supplies than they've been in a while. And yeah, you probably see a lot of people looking pretty desperate and ragged, staring at the carts. And yeah, most people are eating their horses, not buying fresh ones.
See, I think you also see as we're moving. I think every once in a while, you will catch sight of the Horned One or one of her shapeshifted forms moving, but following the Legion, or like or communicating with one of the command staff, but in a way that I don't think any of the Legion have seen her. She is she has this look of someone who has not slept in days, and she looks like she's like she's looking too thin, too pale, when compared to how we've seen her previously. And I think along with that firestorm to the east, and that purple miasma to the west, I think you're seeing like a lot of sort of, even though it seems like we have been materially for a while, I think we're like there's some psychological wear and tear that's coming because of seeing this entity that has been kind of our support, a big part of our support and a big part of the leadership, looking so, for lack of a better word, just so broken down and so so worn out, as things around us are getting more and more a lot of not okay as we come up to Fort Calisco.
And I think we see, even as the the Legion is making good progress. I think we see sorry, just remind myself of names. I think we see Scarlet Dance and Glade, and perhaps some of the other Panyar scouts and soldiers. They're doing their riding out ahead of the column to kind of check the way and do the wayfinding and stuff. But they you can tell that they are sort of seething and angry and upset at the loss of the Panyar forest, and there's just that palpable anger hanging over them.
I think amongst the rank and file, chatter during marches has diminished incredibly in the last week or so. I think everyone is morale is high, but it's not necessarily a joyous morale. It is a morale that's composed of dogged determination. And as we get closer to Skydagger Keep, anyone with even a basic knowledge of the geography of the continent knows we're getting closer. This is the last leg. We know we just have to get there, and then we can stop walking for a little while at least.
Yeah. There's all very positive images of the Legion as well. Kind of positivity, I suppose. All right. So if I'll ask a commander to move the sword token from East Lake to just about Fort Calisco, and then I'll get to actually describing. So I think you're at the edge of the forest because you do have to walk through like a foresty path, and again you have the forest is weirdly silent, I think, when you kind of pass through, and you get to the edge, you see Fort Calisco. It's this sturdy, well-built Aldermark, fortress. You know that there's an Aldermani veteran, Commander Yonakas, holding this position there. It's it's well equipped. It's like this flat sort of structure. It kind of like squats in between these two crossroads, one of them leading to the mall, one to the high road. So like the roads kind of like crisscross around it, and it's kind of like, well, they go around it, but it's like this long rectangular sort of way. It's low. It's not like Skydagger Keep, which has like a tall tower, hence the name. Fort Calisco is like flat, but it has a commanding view of the crossroads. And you'd notice all that, but the first thing you notice is that it's under siege. So let me find the Fort Calisco page. And then I'm going to ask you for details about the siege. But first, let me read out this page. It's small. Okay, so yeah, special. So yeah, you get scenes of solemn faces of people. There are probably civilians in there. It's quite dogged. But here are the special rules. If you do not acquire a route out of the fort, missions outside the fort at -1D to engagement rolls, and Legion can advance. But when you advance to Fort Calisco, you'll have to complete the following mission. No secondary missions in this mission phase. So I'm going to reveal the mission. Actually, before I reveal the mission, I did ask, it's under siege right now by the undead, specifically Blighter's army, who you probably already guessed a couple of sessions ago had spent all this time while you're down south scissoring her way through the forest. Yeah, that was always going to happen. Like whichever route you take, whatever you've been dealing with a lot of Render's forces down south. So yeah, I kind of what does it look like when Blighter's army? What does Blighter's army in a siege look like?
Oh, I think they're making huge use of those artillery piece guys that they've been creating, the spitters. They've got lines and lines of those set up. and they've got the horrors just basically going up and trying to basically acting like heavy troops to basically trying to knock down the gates, knock down the walls, and form makeshift siege engines as like those horrors kind of stack on top of each other and try to crash into the wall and form a way up for the other smaller undead to climb.
And I think there are like carrion flies everywhere in the air, and like getting into, I mean, just like harrying people inside the fort, getting into food, all that sort of thing.
The land all around the fort is corrupted. Like it's you can see the stench, the I'm just going to say corrupt again, gas rising from the earth itself.
Brian, do you have a detail you want to add? If not, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, all the good stuff's taken. I'll skip this one.
That's okay. That's fine. It's completely fine. All right. So actually, before I actually reveal the mission, let's pick an ability for the Horn one. I'll tell you what I picked for Blighter and Render. For Render, pick Shredders, Remnants of Thorns. These balls of blades and Render's blood explode when near troops. So we've got more mines to deal with now. And for Blighter, I picked she has attacked and poison supply lines, supply mission engagement rolls. Now take a -1. Can't let you shop like that anymore. But yeah, what the ability from the Horn one is now speaking to you?
I think I'm saying we should probably go for that special armor because our engagement rolls are just going to be garbage anyway, based on this situation. So I think we got to take basically something that we can help make it work in the mission.
That sounds good to me. Yeah.
No, I didn't expect this mission to show up. This kind of mission. It's just, yeah. I asked what the focus is, and they looked at Fort Calisco. It's like, oh shit, it's this bit. Well, I'm sorry, no recon missions for you, Legion. All right, I'm gonna tick that. Reduce mission favor, and I'm gonna reveal the mission for Fort Calisco. There is no choice. This is the one. You have to do this. Before you do anything else. So, mission type is assault. Your favorite type. Favor, glory. Your chosen one doesn't care about that. To get into Fort Calisco, you have to break the siege. The best way to do that is to hit the undead in a position and force them to shift forces to defend while the Legion makes a break out of the forest into a side gate. Whatever the undead are preparing for the walls, ritual or siege weapons looks like a good target. And for me, the GM, I'm going to make a clock for the chosen stalling the broken at this position while the troops light the undead siege weapons on fire. If the Legion has an alchemist, the engagement roll is at +1d. It absolutely requires horses. Rewards is -1 time. You'll get that, but you won't take away the abilities they just gained, but you'll get the -1 time. +3 morale. Pressure does not increase, which is good. And penalties, well, you can't advance until you finish this mission. So yeah, normally I'd say like, what do you want to do? But you've got no choice. I'm sorry, Commander.
Well, I guess we'll pick the break the siege mission. What is our what's our allowable makeup on this one as far as our specialists and other troops go?
I think it's the same. It's still the usual. Up to 2 specialists, +3 if it's a medic. Any number of rookies or soldiers. Your chosen's going to be busy, as mentioned. I think I'll give you what the target is. I think absolutely you see at the back. You do have the spitters are throwing all they're shooting all that stuff. The horrors and they're kind of throwing all their weight at the walls. There are people. You can see the people in the fort just like trying to fire back. You see them, they're trying to be careful with all their black shot as they're shooting back. They don't have the range to hit the spitters. But at the back, near your position, actually, around. Let me go back to the map. Around, let's say you are here at this road. Around here, under the T, on Fort Calisco, you see these like strange, great like pipe works, kind of being erected. You see like a bunch of like undead and living people directing the undead. Fitting pipes and tanks together and digging. So that's a spot. I think that is the spot to attack. Shit, I'm being called to do something. You mind if I call for another break? Sorry about this. Probably got another 10 minutes. So I just realized like, I have to take care of something. Is that okay with you folks? Okay, sorry about that. Sorry, another 10.
Do we want to figure out who's going on this mission while now?
I'm gone? Yeah, because mostly it's yourselves talking anyway. I'll be back in 10 minutes anyway. But yeah, feel free to talk, or if you want to take a break as well, feel free to do that as well. But yeah, I have to go. I'll be back in 10. Sorry.
So it's an assault mission, so we'll want either or both the Landgrave or I think our sniper Silver Surging Flood. I think those are sniper or heavy. Go ahead.
Sounds like we're going to have a lot of really badass monster types. So Farah's ability to lower the threat level of everybody that she's facing sounds like people. So or undead.
So, yeah, that sounds great to me.
And that will save our scouts and such for hopefully recon missions next time.
That sounds great. Let me see here. Does anybody off the top of your head know? It sounds like a rec, a good ranking in rec would come in really handy. Does anybody off the top of your head know a specialist with or a soldier with a good rec ranking? It looks like Farah it is. All right.
Yeah, Valeria has a 1 in rec. The other one was
Yeah, and definitely having a medic along would probably not be a bad idea. I was just thinking in terms of like other people. Zaya might be a good choice because she's pretty tough in general.
Yeah, that sounds great. So we'll take the Grinning Ravens with us, Zaya, and Karaj, and the rest.
Yeah, Zaya, that's the officer, right? Yeah.
Zaya is, I think she's a soldier.
Yeah, she's a soldier now.
Oh, I see. So you're talking about the crew of. I was just going to say that the officer's channels ability might be useful because you can get any items you need, and if we need to like demolition some of their siege weapons, I don't know if we have any other way of getting hold of that kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I think that sounds great. Yeah, I've the only time I've played Zayevich, like that channel's ability is real fun to mess around with.
Yeah, unless we've got a character who can have access to like that kind of stuff, but I don't think we do.
Yeah, well, the heavies, most of them can get a fine wrecking kit if they take a heavy load. So that's
Okay.
Farah's big strength, and she has, I think, at this point, 2 dots in wreck, if I remember right. I think. But
Okay, but we could definitely make that wrecking easier with some channeled, I don't know, explosives or something.
oh god, yes. Melislav might have basically snatched up the remainder of that expired explosives that were written off the books after that little episode with the fishing. Now, the other thing is, how do we want to? How much do we want to put towards this mission to try and improve the engagement roll? That'd be the other question. Like, I've got an intel to spend, and I'd planned on holding that for a secondary mission engagement roll, but we don't have a secondary mission, so
I would still save it for the next one because we're not getting any more intel from this one.
no. Now, what can you spend to boost the engagement roll for assault missions? Is it food or supply that you spend on those?
I think it may be
Probably
Black
Black Shot.
Black Shot. Oh well.
Yeah.
Do we have plenty of Black Shot that we can spend?
Oh yeah, we're spending it.
Okay. And shit, spend some of that religious supply. We got all this corruption going on. Give everybody some. Give everybody a relic.
Yeah, that we have a ton of. So we're pretty much every mission, like every primary mission from here on out, everyone gets reliquary. I think we just, by random coincidence, must have gotten a bunch of missions where those were like part of the reward.
Oh yeah, we did a few missions where, like, most of the time, I think the religious supplies were an incidental reward, but they were an incidental reward on like 2 or 3 missions.
Yeah,
and
probably because you were maybe it's because you were chasing after XP for our chosen, and that was like a lot of times what comes with it. I don't know. I'm guessing I wasn't here for that.
I don't think it was anywhere near that concerted. I think just like, hey, this mission sounds really cool. And it turned out, oh, well, that has an extra religious supply that you get at the end of it, in addition to the other rewards. So that was really more like it. It wasn't a planned attempt at that point, I think, to get it. Like, our 2 biggest religious supply boosts, like, I think they're in the first 3 sessions. Like, we just ended up with the religious rewards off every primary mission we did, I think.
The laborers didn't have a siege weapon to repair. I probably would have had them working on selling off some of that religious supplies for just general supply or something.
Let's see. So who wants to play who in this mission? Like, I'm always up for playing Farah, but if somebody else wants to jump in and give that one a try, I'm perfectly okay playing a rookie or a soldier.
I'm fairly easy. I wouldn't mind taking Zaya out again, but I don't mind taking someone else as well. So,
Brian, you got any preference?
Not really. I'm happy with anything.
Okay. Okay. How do you feel about the officer?
Sure.
Okay. Well, sweet. Then I'll take on the medic, if that's
cool.
If that works. All right.
And will we put down Karaj as our 5th, just because we've got them named already?
Yeah.
Cool. I'll just make a note of all those.
I think we have the rest of the Grinning Ravens too, right? We managed to restock that squad after that big kill off, didn't we?
Yeah, we have at least 4 out of 5, if not all 5. Let me double check my roll sheet here. Grinning Ravens. Yeah, there's 3 unnamed unnamed grinning ravens who can accompany us. Karaj is stressed out. That shouldn't be true. Okay, Karaj is very slightly stressed. I'm going to pop to the men's real quick. I'll be right back.
Hi, sorry about that.
No worries.
Did folks step away for a moment?
No, I'm still here. I think Dan just stepped away for a minute.
Okay, cool.
We've sorted our team.
Oh, fab. Fun times. All right, I'll wait for Dan to come back and then find. I guess I'll find out who we all decided for this assault. Sorry, I'm looking at some of the special missions, and they're fun stuff. All right, so yeah, everyone's back. Marshall, tell me who is going on this assault mission. You just said suicide mission, but no, it's not. It's a military operation.
We're sending Landgrave Farah, Valeria Albrecht, and our officer Melislav Zayevich, along with the Grinning Ravens.
Ooh. So who's the fourth PC being played today?
Oh, I believe that is Zaya Melovna.
Oh, joy of joys! Good to have her back. Been a while, and I think, Jesus, we're more than halfway through. I think this is our first time we've seen a soldier in play, so that's gonna be fun. Okay, all right. So, who's playing who? So I know.
Chris is playing Landgrave Farah. Let me see here. Brian is playing Melislav Zayevich. I'm playing Valeria Albrecht, and David is playing Zaya Melovna.
All right. So yeah, as mentioned, the objective is to disrupt this ritual siege weapon, whatever's being worked on, and yeah, give the Legion enough time to break the siege and get into the fort through the side gate. You won't completely break the siege, but you'll break it, but they'll still be there. It's still gonna be hard to do things on that side of the fort anyway. But yeah, simple enough. Let's do engagement. Let's just do this. There's no more preamble. You've done all the preamble for me. Did everyone pick load? Probably should do that first, actually. All right, so this is an assault mission. Nothing fancy about it. The nice thing is there's no secondary mission, so we don't have to worry about that. Although I absolutely can make the Legion suffers casualties as a consequence. That's kind of on the table. Oh, hell yeah. Farah going heavy. We've never seen her do light. A light load is still load. All right. Everyone pick load. Cool. Does anyone not pick load? That's what I should ask. Okay. All right. Seems like everyone's going quite heavy. Fair enough. You said Melislav's coming along, right? Yes, and the Ravens. All right. Cool. Let's do this, Marshall. Engagement roll time.
Okay, everyone on the mission is oath sworn to the Legion. Commander, would you like to spend that intel on a extra die?
Since we're not getting any more this session, I'm a little reluctant to let it go right now.
Good. Let's see here. Not everyone is a specialist or soldier. Any legionnaire distrust the leadership or not fear them enough to obey orders on the battlefield. I don't think that's the case. And we do have the appropriate specialists on the mission. On each assault mission. It is an assault mission, yeah. Quartermaster, would you like to equip Blackshot?
Yes.
Can I also suggest you equip them with religious supplies since you're dealing with Blighter's forces?
Yes. We're also.
And is any legionnaire starting the mission wounded? I don't think so. I think everybody is feeling okay.
Yeah, somehow you got the non-wounded. Legionnaires. Okay, cool. Oh, you do take 1 minus die because of one of Render's abilities.
Okay, so I believe that leaves us with a single die.
So yeah, everyone has a free reliquary. Oh, I'm nervous.
You get +1 die because the officer is a strategist.
Oh yeah, good. Okay, cool.
Great.
Roll another die.
Okay.
Because you rolled a 2 there.
Great. Additional die. There we go.
Oh, that's a 1. Okay, so desperate position. All right. Here's what it looks. I think the commander has kind of like right. Let's see. Do we have time? I kind of like. I wanna see a bit of the night before. I'm not worried that people might die because again, you roll like champs in a primary mission. There's not even a secondary mission, but then again, stuff could happen. But like, does anyone have any last things they want to do before do this? No. Okay. All right. That's fine. That's fair enough.
I think you see the officer like consulting with the command staff, and essentially the conclusion is like they're trying to find the best line of attack, and it's like there kind of isn't one. Like it's just gonna suck, right? Like it's not necessarily like a desperate position because we like screwed up. It's just like, yeah, no, there's no good position here.
I think
they already got here ahead of us and took all the good positions. They're dug in.
I think. Go ahead. No, keep going.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, it's like, oh, if you wanted a good position, you should have been here a month ago. It's too late for that.
Yeah. Although the way the choices work in this game, either route you've taken, the other broken would have been there. They would have taken the other route. So, yeah, I think I kind of like the idea. Like during this talk, one of your runners, one of the rookies, burst in and just panting. They just say, "Blighter's taken the field," and I think you hear again the Chosen's voice out of nowhere because she never announces her presence. She just says, "Then it's time." So I think we cut to like it's dawn. The sun is. You expect the sun to break, to shine a bit of light in this grim day, but there's no sun. Instead, there's just a haze. This weird film of yellow miasma. You look at it, it's meant to be purple, but like the sun is trying to break through. That's why it's all a weird mix of yellow. It looks sick. The sky around Fort Calisco looks rotting. It's a yellow of like pus, and the air just doesn't feel right. Even as you and the ravens, you mount up on your horses. Oh yeah, check off a use of horses. They're quartermaster, it's required. As you mount up, and I think you're waiting for the signal, and then it comes. This brilliant, gigantic eagle bursting from the tree lines from your position, just zooming down, and you hear the fort's defenders whoop in awe. And you don't know where this eagle is going to. You see that's aiming at this figure, this leather-clad hooded figure, just kind of like almost just you don't notice her. You didn't notice her until you saw your chosen come after her, and her back's like turned to the Legion, to where you are. This figure is looking at the fort, and she looks so nonchalant. And I think the chosen engages, and suddenly there's just like this burst of fumes around this figure. It's kind of like it throws back a bit of the undead around this figure, and your chosen disappears into the fog. Now I'm gonna make a 10-step clock. I can only go up to 8, but because I did not find the graphics for a 10-step clock, but I'm gonna make that and give it a name. Let's see. The Chosen of the Horned One versus the Corrupter of Flesh, the Plague Bringer. But you know her as Blighter. All right, and I think signal is gone. Oh, I did not save it. I X'd it. Damn it! Sorry, I have to do that again. Chosen of the Horned One. Yeah, it kind of steps over my dramatic monologuing. It's like, damn. Versus Blighter. Now, as all of you like mount up and charge towards the structure you're meant to fight, let's do our usual round through each character. So what are they feeling? What's their demeanor as they drive their horses towards where this weird steampunk pipes and tank structure is being set up? Oh, I just said right now because I just forgot one of the things in the mission. Because you have an alchemist, you do get an extra die to the engagement roll. That's part of the. I forgot about that. I'm sorry. Roll one more die, Marshall. Maybe this will help things.
Roll a third failed die.
So I think absolutely. Then one of your alchemists, probably Velka, has come with you as well. Oh my god, that's another one! Wow! I think Velka, who, if Brian, you weren't there when the Legion rescued her, but she was in a bit of a state. She was captured by Render's forces. She was in a recon mission to find out more about Blighter's workings. And when the Legion found her, she was in a bit of a state. I think she's with you because she's there to like help destroy whatever you're working on, and but her eyes are wide. She's clinging on to one of you, probably. Let you all decide which one. And she looks like she's trying to look like grim and determined, like everyone else around her. But I think you can see that like there's a point where like it's gonna be rough. But yeah, let's go around like each character. How are you feeling? What's your demeanor as you charge?
So yeah, I think as they're kind of walking up on, as in walking on the horses up towards the battle lines, I think Zaya has her like big woodcutter's axe out, and she's just finishing off honing it with a steel. She stows away, pulls out her shield, readies the axe into a sort of an overhand position, and yeah, kicks the side of her horses to go into the charge.
I think you see Farah basically, she is loaded as heavy as she gets. She's got the fine wrecking kit. She's got the big tower shield. And she's having to get on one of the bigger horses because it's the only one that can actually like ride full gallop with her and all her gear on it. And she throws a leg over the horse and tugs on the reins and just looks out before she like claps her helmet faceplate down. She just looks out over it, and she has this look of grim determination on her face. And whereas some of the times you've seen her go into battle, like there would have been like a grim smile, this is not that. Like, this is a this is riding right into the mouth of an enemy army. And she's basically, she looks like she's ready to not make it back. Like that's the impression that she's giving.
Albrecht has the grim smile. She was held captive by this army not too long ago, and she's back, and she's got a fine pistol and some black shot, and she is ready to do what she needs to do.
She's a demon with that pistol, for sure.
And Miloslav, I don't know that I have the speech that he would give, but he's definitely the type to, I think, give a little, together where, that their forces out there may look impressive, but when a group of legionnaires working together, there's nothing that can withstand that, and
All right.
There's no feeling you need to feel about our enemy today other than pity, because they've met their match. Let's go, and it's gonna take the lead.
Okay.
And I kind of would like to lead, like whatever. This would be like a scout action. To like find how we're gonna like actually approach this.
Well, the thing is, we've rolled the engagement roll, and that means I have to put you in a desperate position.
Yeah, I would like to roll a desperate scout.
Sure, pummeling you. Well, you're not okay. All right. Well, the thing is, you're not yet in a desperate position. But I'm interested to see what could happen. Do you just want to roll XP? You can tell me you just want to roll XP. No, it's...
That's not part of it. But I would like to. Malislav has the tactician ability, so that he's particularly good at leading group actions. So it was really, I was just trying to hope to.
Yeah, but the thing is, with the engagement roll, you don't have what it means that you don't have to roll that, because we just cut to the action. So
Sure.
you're not gonna like scout. You don't have to scout your way. You're gonna be.
Well,
there.
I mean, the engagement roll just means that we're in a desperate position. I guess.
Yeah, but you're not yet in a desperate.
I guess if
position.
I was jumping the gun, if you want to tell us why the situation is desperate.
Yeah, that's the thing. It is a bit of jumping the gun. You're still only just launching off. Yeah, we're not there yet. We're not in the fireworks factory yet.
Apologies. You tell me why are we in a desperate position?
Yeah, here's why. You make your charge, and you've got a fairly, even with like the rushed reconnaissance the Legion could do, you have a way. The Chosen has drawn kind of like the attention of the undead army. But the Spitters are still regularly shooting into the fort. But most of the undead, which is a lot of like milling sort of. Let's see, what are Blighter's mooks goons called again? Let me double check. Most of the rotters are kind of like being corralled by their crow sort of leaders. There's like a bunch of horrors just like waiting to create those piles of waiting to lift up those undead once they get close. But yeah, you make your charge. You're kind of like at the back line. You're headed towards this this big sort of like tubes and gas and tanks being dug into the earth. And I think I think what it is really just like the moment you all step into like a certain spot, these hands just kind of dart from the ground, and like grab onto the hooves of the horses with like this iron grip. And I think most of you either get flung off or like get just kind of like thrown around as like the horses kind of get like stymied. And I think some of them run away, some of them don't make it. But I think what happens is like you're all off your horses. You're kind of like at the cusp. You're near the edge of where the gas and the pipes are being made. There's a figure kind of like sitting on the edge of one of the gas tanks, just like looking at you. And and people who went to liberate those fire mains recognize her as Blighter's top engineer, the scientist Victoria Carhow. And she's looking at you with like these like, describe her as looking like a steampunk character, the most terrible one you can find. I think she's actually like she's wearing this like sort of like aviator kind of outfit, and she's got these like black goggles. You can't see her like eyes, but she's just kind of like watching you all with this cold clinical sort of disinterest, as like you all got like toppled, and you're all now in this like patch of land in front of all these gas and tanks, and you can see like hands grabbing out of the mud. And then she whistles, and more hands pop up from in front of you, and they start dragging themselves out of the ground. And there's this line of like hold on, I need to look at the thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 5 like sort of bodies, and they're dressed in Legion wear. And I don't know if any of these specialists palled with these rookies, but I think Melislav would recognize them since they mostly died under his watch. And I think collectively those 5 sort of these dead rookies holding like their old Legion weapons, collectively they turn their eyes towards you, Melislav. Now I know, Brian, you weren't there when these rookies died under his watch, but
yeah, still nice touch, very effective.
All right. Yeah, you're in a desperate position. What do you do? Yeah, Farah, you were there too. Yeah, you barely survived, and you got. Can I say, like, because part of the reason why you had so much religious supplies is like that first secondary mission was to grab a reliquary, and that's when those rookies started dying. And you probably have pieces of those rocks with you. Oh God! So yeah, Farah, Metislav. Yeah, I know we didn't. Well, we gave them names.
I think in the sort of brief interval between when she flies from her horse and when she will surely be grabbed by hands coming from the ground, I want to say Valeria is trying to get as good a look at these pumps and these pipe mechanisms, and maybe try and logic out how they work and what they do.
Okay, what are you rolling with?
Research makes sense to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a desperate limited because you're in a really tough situation and you can only glean so much from where you are.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, flying through the air and then from the ground. Great. Let's see here.
You don't have anything that could help that, do you?
Not that I can think of now.
That's
no,
fair.
Do you have like a little spyglass or something with one of your kits?
Oh, no, I don't believe. No, she's got a medic kit, but if that has a spyglass, I'd be really impressed.
I don't think it does. I think you have to take that separately.
Yeah.
Cool. So that is research, and you said desperate
Limited.
and limited. Okay, and there we go. Do you have a devil's bargain for this?
Oh yeah. We should. Sorry. Like Sorry, I was looking for item stuff. Yeah, I think. Sorry to address Brian's thing in the chat. Yeah, I think Patrick marked that, and I forgot to tell him that. Like, no, you can't have 4 dots. So feel free to transfer that dot anywhere else. But yeah, you want to push a bargain? Jesus. Devil's bargain. You get an extra die, but I think Velka is gonna get caught in those hands, and someone will have to rescue her. Velka,
Okay.
you're alchemist.
Oh, I see. Let's see here.
Who came with you? I should have mentioned.
Oof. Right. Yeah, I can. I mean, it's an alchemist. She's gonna become corrupt anyway and turn into a monster. Yeah, I'll take that.
Does anyone want to assist? A research roll.
It's tough to assist.
No, probably not in the research role. I might go for Valka, but yeah.
Sweet. All right.
Oh, so you're taking the bargain?
I'm taking the bargain.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So yeah, it's 2 dice. Oh, well, that's 1 bonus dice. Oh my gosh, come on.
Oh, is it? What is it?
It's 6. See? What do I have to be worried about? Mark XP. But still limited. So you see the workings. Here's what limited will get you. It'll get you to make me put a clock on the table, which is destroying Blighter Siegecraft. It's 8 steps. Honestly, I'm tempted to make it 10 just to pair it up with the chosen final broken. Actually, you know what? I will. So it's going to be a race. You have to fill your clock before that one fills. Otherwise, you might lose your chosen. So that's what you get. Because if you got more than limited, I would maybe add a tick to that. But no, I think what you glean, Valeria, as you're seeing it's just like you see there's like quite a bit of undead workers still fitting, and you can see like and a bunch of undead just kind of like walking into these tanks, almost like to be processed. And you can see like the tank is like filling up with gas and gunk and whatever. And I think not sure exactly how they're going to deliver all that to the fort, but this is the delivery mechanism for it. So act fast, legionnaires. All right, I'm gonna. Oh, all right, I did make the clock. Which one is that? Okay, siegecraft. It's gonna be 10 steps. Okay, but your bargain happens. Breaking Blighter, siegecraft, and see. There we go. That's also 10 steps. All right. So as that happens, as everyone's trying to get their bearings, Valeria tries to. She's flat on her back and she tries to get up, but hands come up and just start grabbing her limbs, and she starts screaming. Zaya, you want to help her out?
Yeah. So I think kind of Zaya crashes down from her horse and sort of lands in a roll. And as she sort of gets to her knees, I think her eyes sort of immediately go to the steampunk lieutenant that we saw. I think you can kind of see her going into a crouch, but she sort of glances around at the others to kind of wait for the order to go. As she notices Valeria kind of getting grabbed, though, she's going to launch herself towards her and start swinging her axe at the wrists of the hands coming out of the ground to hack them off.
All right. What are you rolling with?
That's going to be skirmish, I think.
Can we actually make that a group skirmish? Because I think the officer would definitely.
So the officer would go in as well. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and leading the squad.
Okay. You really want to use that tactician ability, do you?
I do. That's what.
Zaya, would you be okay with? Okay, so everyone wants to help. Everyone wants to save Velka. Zaya,
as the quartermaster, I also definitely don't want to lose an alchemist.
Yeah. Yes, certainly. I think Zaya is used to at least waiting for orders, if not entirely following them. So if somebody is going to take charge, she will fall in line.
All right. So Melislav, how are you saving your alchemist? How are you getting the squad to come forward to save your alchemist? Mm-hmm.
You asking me?
Yeah.
How are we?
Yeah. If you're leading the group action, how are you saving your alchemist?
Yeah. Just chopping all these hands off.
Cool. What are you rolling with?
Skirmish.
All right. So everyone's gonna roll skirmish. It's gonna be desperate. Standard, I'd say. You're kind of fighting less against a foe and more like you're fighting against an environmental effect. It's gonna be desperate standard skirmish for everyone. Feel free to push yourselves, whatnot. Everyone wants a bargain. I
want as many people to join as possible.
Zaya, you rolled your resist.
I did, though it's the same number as my skirmish. I clicked on the wrong bit of the sheet.
Okay.
Wait, I think I actually get an extra die in group actions. I forgot to add that.
No, you suffer at the most one stress.
Well, I might. Okay, I get one more die. Okay, so I did. And then, did anybody else join or?
Yeah, no, everyone rolled. Everyone rolled. Well, Zaya hasn't rolled yet. Oh yeah, no, you got 2 6s. You got 2 separate 6s from 2 separate people. No, it's fine. Yeah, no, it's fine. Success. All right. Okay. Yeah. So you're gonna as a squad form up, and yeah, I think, and also the other grinning ravens, they just jump into action as well and just cut through the hands and get Valeria out. And you manage to like, clear a space. You actually make some space. Oh, go ahead, Zaya.
I was just going to say, technically I got a crit, but I don't know if there's any kind of additional benefit to be gained from this particular action, because it's just undoing a...
It boosts your effect for sure. You go from desperate standard to great. So I think what it'll do is like you'll manage to clear a space. Last time you got caught up with those hand mines. You weren't here, David, but yeah, definitely grasping hands. It was basically a minefield. The last time you were there, you had to like, and Metislav was in that mission as well. You had to carefully piece your way. But this time it's like, no, fuck you, hands, and you just start cutting through. And definitely, I think you'll clear some space. And I think some of the hands actually even start retreating against like your onslaught, and you manage to like make like a bit of an island. But the problem is, there's still that wall of legionnaire rookies, and most of them are holding like muskets or like swords, and they are like kind of like standing stoically in between you and the pipeworks. And again, there's Victoria Carhal just kind of like watching very clinically, and you hear a roar in the distance, a giant bear roar. And a fight is on over there. Unfortunately, you all rolled a lot of sixes, so I'm not taking any clocks at the moment. Yeah, so you've got some breathing room. You've saved the alchemist. What's the next step? Farrah's gonna take on those rookies.
Yeah, I think she's just she is at this point now seeing the rookies again, and she has just descended into this cold black fury, and she just charges dead ahead. Like as soon as she lets go, as soon as we're done with freeing the alchemist, she ducks her head down, she raises her shield, and she charges forward, and she's just basically going to try and bludgeon a path through those undead. Like she's not going to try and kill all of them, just get them out of the way so that we can get through them.
All right, what are you rolling with?
I'm guessing that'd be skirmish, since she's getting in down and dirty with them and just bludgeoning them out of the way.
You're using your fine sword as always.
Yes, fine tower shield, fine sword.
All right, that puts you desperate great. They're only threat 1 because legionnaires start at threat 1. So yeah, it's gonna be desperate great. Anyone want to assist?
Yeah, go on. Zaya will charge in as well. She operates in a very similar way to Farrah, so yeah.
Okay.
All right. So that's 1 die. Do you want to push yourself or take the devil's bargain?
No, I think I'm just going to go with what I've got. I think I'm in a good space. He said before rolling horribly.
Well, you never know. I'll mark XP on prowess, since this is a desperate roll. Okay. Hey, 4 partial success. It's not the worst. But Zaya is going to be entangled as well. So I think the two of you barge through. Farrah, you're leading the charge. You barge through, and you kind of break the wall, but then you see that one of those rookies is clinging onto your shield. So they kind of actually, let me pluck a random name from the pile of dead rookie names we got. This is Silver Dancing Wield, and she looks at you with these sort of glassy, sort of she's a Panyar, so she kind of has weird insect eyes, and she's clinging onto your shield, and she's doing that phlegmy sort of undead thing that you heard from when you were fighting the vulture. But she kind of looks at you and she says, you've finally come back to us, Landgrave, just like you promised. Just like you promised. You've come back. You've come back. You've come back. And then she's kind of like starts choking up, and she starts like vomiting this like poisonous sort of vomit on you, Farah. You're gonna take level 2 harm and 4 bits of corruption. So resist. You can resist one of those, or use armor against the other, or reliquary, I guess.
I think what she's going to do is, number one, I think she's going to spend a use of the reliquary to resist the corruption.
All right. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna add an extra die to when you spend a reliquary, it adds 1 die to resisting corruption.
Okay, so I still have to choose. I can't.
Yes.
Okay. If the reliquary doesn't act like armor, it just adds an extra die. Okay.
It adds an extra die, but then it also reduces the amount of corruption by 2,
1.
I think.
By 1. If it's fine, by 2.
1 or 2.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I guess what I will do then is we have that special armor that we got from the Chosen, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to spend a use of that, and I'm going to remove that harm, and then I'm going to try and resist the corruption.
Okay. So yeah, hold on. Let me double check. Yeah, to resist the physical. Okay, so yeah, that's gonna bump. It was level 2 harm. It's gonna bump it down to level 1.
Okay, that'll be just fine because at level 1 harm, Farah becomes more dangerous.
Of course. All right. So I think level 1 harm singe. This is a burning sort of vomit that Silver Dancing Wield is vomiting on you. And so you're gonna roll to resist the corruption. So okay.
All right. So to resist the corruption, would it be prowess?
Oh,
with
with
I was doing, or
yes.
Okay. All right, and spend a use of reliquary to give myself 1 extra die.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Jesus.
So if I had any stress, I would recover 1 point of it.
Oh my god.
And I think what happens here, if this doesn't push things too far, is I think you hear this low growl in Farah's throat when this thing starts to speak, and she swings around in like this. You'd call it a pirouette if it was anything pretty enough to be a dance, but it's literally like she's slinging around and like she's throwing that zombie like a freaking discus at one of the other nearby zombies, basically bowling over another one of the like 6 or 7 rookies that have zombied themselves up here.
Okay. Also, because this is kind of like on the way to breaking Siegecraft, it was great effect. That's kind of like technically 3 ticks on the clock. I only tick it by 1 because that's an 8-step on the screen, but it's a 10-step in my heart. But yeah, you're making progress. God. All right. So I think Farah and Zaya have absolutely gotten through. Valeria, Melislav, you've got a moment before the line reforms itself to join them, but it's gonna be. I think you can't just join at them because you managed to clear the field, but you have to lead the other rookies and Velka through.
So there's still some of these undead former Legion standing still, right?
Yes. Yeah. I think Pharaoh basically just bull rushed.
Right, bull rushed through. So I mean, it's kind of been stampeded. So I think now is as good a chance as any to volley a bunch of black shot into them. So as Miloslav does, leading a volley, tells everyone to load black shot and fire.
All right. You joining in, Valeria? You're into the shooting. All right, so it's a group action for sure. Desperate, great, because you were using black shot, and I think all the other recruiting ravens are gonna join in as well. All right, yeah. Roll. Oh, what are you rolling, Metislav?
Shoot.
Yeah, cool. So roll your shoot. If you want to push yourself to get a die, or it's desperate, great.
Desperate Great. Okay.
Huh. Well, let's hope Valeria's role is. Oh my god! So, if anyone who might be listening and not watching, because we know the Gauntlet puts these videos into podcast form, Metislav rolled a 3 and a 2. Valeria rolled a 1.
Dang. Do we get a roll for the squad of rookies?
You're gonna have to command them or something. I think we can say you can squeeze an extra roll to see how they do. What are you doing to like get them into action? Because like if I'll let you not use this shoot roll.
Would that be a discipline, I guess? Is that what?
Yeah, it's either discipline or martial. Because one of them is like
Coordinate
discipline
fire on a target is martial, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would roll. Feels weird rolling twice. I don't know.
It'll be fine. Yeah, I mean we could use this shoot. Because you kind of like, the thing is, we went forward with the shooting, so we will have to respect that. Okay, here's what happens. Several bad things is going to happen now. You hear again that roaring of this bear in the distance, but it's far more pained now. I'm going to add 2 ticks to the horn one's chosen versus Blighter clock. You actually won't see it in the map because again 8 ticks. So it's still fine for now. And I think these, you fire at them, but I think they see these like let's say so. One of them is clinging onto Fair's shield. Well, not anymore because she did that pirouette. The other 4 kind of just charge. They see you, Metislav, and their eyes widen and like this haze, and they all kind of just lunge. And I think, actually, no, they don't lunge at you. They lunge at the other rookies. I think you do your shoot. You shoot at them, and then you try to swing to like try and like get them to shoot as well. But before they can have like get their muskets up or so, these other 4 are kind of like just on them. And I think, let's see, you came in here with like 3 other rookies. Wait. Sorry, I was just very confused. There was just a pop-up in a roll 20. I didn't know you could do that. That's very weird. Sorry. For anyone who, Oh, Chris, you want to speak?
Sorry, accidentally. I was trying to look through my stuff, and I accidentally clicked a little. Apparently, if you click on that little bell, it posts it in roll 20. I did not realize that.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Metislav, you're gonna lose 2 rookies in this skirmish. Do you want to resist that?
Yes, I would like to resist that.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna say you're gonna resist with resolve, because this is kind of like trying to get the rookies out, which is your good resist, because it's like 4 die.
It is. It's actually 5 die because I am +1 die to resist on desperate actions.
Okay, so you clear a stress. Well, not yet, but like, so what is it? How do you save these rookies from dying from getting killed by the rookies who died under your command? How do you save them?
Let's see. It's with resolve. So I mean, I think it's just by use of the lay of the land and the maybe even keeping whatever's left of those grasping hands that were out of the ground, maneuvering so those are in between us and their charge, so that they kind of trip over that and just aren't able to clear the distance between them and these rookies as quickly as they planned.
Okay, so yeah, I think you take charge and manage to do that and save the Grinning Ravens. I think Velka, the alchemist, sidles up to you, Valeria, and I think she's breathing hard, but she's fine at the moment. She's kind of like almost patting herself, just like because she was grasped by his hands, and she says like, "We need to get out of here, or we need to. What do we do?"
Velka, we first we kill these dead rookies, and then we blow up those machines. That's the mission. Said Valeria, as she takes her spear, we'll say, and goes at it with the zombie rookies that seem to be kind of distracted, going after the living rookies.
God. Okay. What are you rolling here, Valeria?
Seems like a skirmish would be pretty straight up.
Cool. So it's just a hand weapon. This is gonna be desperate standard, for sure. You're kind of like matched up against these rookies.
Okay. And I think she will. She'll push herself.
Okay.
Cool. Should I say desperate and standard. And do you have a devil's bargain for me?
Well, you can't have one if you push yourself.
Oh, that's right.
It's one or the other.
Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with pushing myself. All right, and let's go. And one bonus die.
Hey.
There we go.
Oh, mark XP as always.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you.
So yeah, I think because the Grinning Ravens have pulled out their hand weapons. I think there's one of the undead rookies. Let's pick a random name. Raya Shabarti. I think she's the one you can I don't know. I think, what do you do? Do you skewer her or chop her head off, or what does it look like when?
Valeria I think a straight skewer under the arm. I think that's probably more effective against living people, but a good skewer in the rib cage, I guess it does. I guess it works okay against the undead.
Yeah. Well, black shot will be better, but I think definitely, yeah. I think you distracting them will ensure the Grinning Ravens will stand a chance. And I think in this melee, you're doing fine. Because this is only somewhat tangentially related to breaking the siegecraft, it's going to be just one tick. Because I think you're gonna have to be a bit more direct. But this is still good. They probably didn't expect you. Some of them were like, "Who the fuck is this? This person?" All right, back to Farah and Zaya. I'll turn to you, Zaya. The two of you have broken through the initial lines. You're kind of standing in front of this gigantic siege works, and Victoria Carl is still just watching. Kind of she's had a head in her hand, just Philistines. And as she says that, you hear some sort of toxic fume, some clouds kind of burst in the distance, and again the bear roar. What do you do, Zaya?
I think as kind of Zaya dislodges her axe from one of the rookies, she kind of glances towards Victoria just sort of spits on the ground and says, "If you're just going to sit there, then we're going to tear your playhouse down." And she's just going to charge towards the structure and do what she can. Basically, if she can reach the door without being stopped by some undead forces, just going to try and kick the door down, basically, and get inside.
All right. All right. What are you rolling with?
I'm going to say maneuver, probably, if there's not a specific threat for her to deal with on the way.
Yeah. I think for the moment it doesn't look like there's any specific threats. Maneuver sounds good.
Yeah, sure thing.
I'm gonna say this is still kind of. Actually, I think you got yourself out of that desperate situation. This is now you're now in risky. Position.
Sure thing.
Say standard. This is risky standard. I haven't seen that in a while. Farah, do you want to assist?
Sure.
Sorry, I mute there, and I assumed you want to assist, but like.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll definitely attempt to assist. I mean, we were sort of barreling through there together, so Farah will come in and try to run interference.
Sounds good.
All right, so take 1 stress, Farah. Zaya, do you want to push yourself or take a bargain?
I think I'm rolling at 3 dice, so I think I'll take that.
Okay. All right, risky standard.
And I've clicked the right button this time, which helps. That's a 6. Cool.
Hey, Jesus Christ. All right, I'm gonna say that's another tick. Because again, no, you're just getting in. I'm gonna say it's a tick. Yeah. It's not yet a tick, but I think here's kind of like what happens. I think as you run, sort of like more hands start bursting from the ground, and I think what you see is like these hands used to be the hands that are coming out are there like these clammy pale ones, but these ones kind of like look like they've had some piping stored in them. You see like some of the finger rolls are replaced with like piping, and they're coming out, and I think as they're coming out they're releasing these toxic fumes. They're kind of like destroying more of the landscape as they pop out. But I think Zaya, you're gonna like just not saunter through them, but like the soldier equivalent of make a run for it to the structure itself. And while Farah's like running interference, I think these more of these rotters, because these aren't even like the elite stuff. They're like more just like more grunts coming out, and I think they're concentrating on Farah because it's fucking Landgrave Farah. It's the legend, the phenom. Yeah. So I think you're definitely gonna make it, Zaya. For sure. And I think what you see, it's just like it's less of like a building and more like just a collection of pipes and tanks. So you end up like on a walk. You end up on a walkway and like some steps leading to it. This all sounds very modern now that I think about it. It's a bit probably a couple centuries ahead of what this time period's meant to be. But yeah, I think you kind of like stand up next to like this like tank, and it's all rusty and made of like iron sheeting and wiring, but you can it smells horrible. It feels horrible to be standing around it. And I think Farah, from your point of view, you see Victoria Carhouse stand up and turn her back to you towards to where Zaya is. Farah, what do you do?
So Zaya basically just ran through those, just like almost like she was dancing across the tops of each hand, just all the way up to the door.
Does that sound right, Zaya?
Yeah, that sounds good.
So and now Carhal is turning towards Zaya, like she's going to try and focus on Zaya.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At a full charge, could I reach Carhyle?
You're gonna have to maneuver. You have to do a roll to get to her.
Okay, so
For sure.
that would-
Or depends on the role. You could be like bum rushing through more of these like rotters. It could be a maneuver. It could be a skirmish. It's up to you.
I think. I mean, maybe I'll try to make it a skirmish and just sort of barrel through them. I want to basically draw her attention, and if I can, maybe toss one of these rotters at her.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
see how well that goes.
Yeah, that's gonna be a risky standard. I was gonna say like if it was gonna be a maneuver, I think the effect would be limited because you're wearing all that heavy armor. But yeah, skirmish is fine. That's a risky standard.
Okay. Now I have a question to ask you. I've got here are the two things I have that are in operation right now on Farah.
Mhm.
She has a level 1 harm. She has the vengeful trait from Orite, which gives her potency when she's suffering harm penalties. But she also has tenacious, meaning that her harm penalties are 1 level less severe.
Mhm.
So how does that play in with level 1 harm?
Because you're not being penalized. Vengeful doesn't trigger. I'll say
So I'd have to take at least level 2 harm for vengeful to trigger.
yes, because it's not really synergizing with tenacious, but
Yeah. Not in this stage. It might if at level 2, but
but tenacious is still pretty good. Like you can take level 3 harm and just the most you'll suffer is a -1d instead of having to
Need
push
help.
yourself.
Yeah,
They need help.
No, they still work great. I was just making sure how that played in.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But you do have their fine heavy sword, so I'm gonna actually might bump up the effect anyway to risky gray.
okay.
Do you want to push yourself or take a devil's bargain?
Since Carhal's on the table, what threat level is she? Is she a 4?
She's a lieutenant, so yeah.
Okay.
She's a
All right. I think I'm going to push myself, and I'm going to use my war machine ability to basically. I want to do something that's going to basically get her attention. Here's what I want to try, and you let me know if this would be acceptable. Basically, I want to basically launch one of these zombies at some of that important-looking pipe work, and basically knock holes in some of it, so that some of that gunk starts to leak out. Maybe that'll draw her attention away from whatever Zaya's got planned inside the building.
Okay.
So
I assume I know what you're pushing yourself then to do, right?
Right.
I think
So I've got 2 options on my war machine ability. Whenever I push myself, I can either do the feat of physical force that verges on the superhuman, or reduce the threat level of the enemies I'm facing by 1. I'm not sure which one of those would get me her attention. I would think I think maybe either reduce her threat level or do the physical force thing.
Yeah, I think just to lay it out for you, the first one would probably tick more ticks on the clock you're trying to fill.
Let's do that then.
Yeah,
I want to fill that clock as fast as possible.
Yeah, well, I mean, taking her out would be good, but honestly, because she's a lieutenant, she might even be her own clock.
Right. So I'm going to do that. Will give me 1 bonus die in addition to doing that, and let's see, and we'll go with that.
All right. Anyone want to assist? I guess Saya can. The other 2 are busy in the.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I get a 4 on it, so partial success.
Yeah.
But it's at effect level great. So.
Yeah, I mean, you're still gonna do it. So, so that's 3 ticks. What does it look like? Describe to me what it looks like when.
Okay, I think what happens is basically, Carhal had basically told these zombies to basically try and gang up on anybody that made it through the front line. So since they couldn't grab Zaya because she was too fast, they basically tried to pile on to Farah, and basically she throws off 2 of them, and the third one that was trying to basically crawl onto her back, she basically reaches over with 1 hand or shield hand, grabs them, and literally throws them like a shot put at the at some important looking pipes.
Yeah, and I think they smash against those pipes. Again, this pipes is as hastily constructed as your entry into this siege. So yeah, they smash through some of those pipes, and yeah, this noxious purple green miasma starts billowing out. No, I won't get in. Actually, I just realized what the complication is going to be. Well, two things happen. Actually, I'm not going to throw you two things. I think. Actually, no. Well, here's what happens. Miasma starts filtering, just breaking through, and I think Zaya, you see that some of it is surrounding the area you're in, so you're gonna have to be really careful navigating where you are. Victoria Carhouse sighs in the most "I can't believe I have to talk to the manager" sort of tone ever, and she turns back around and just kind of shaking her head at you and just saying like, "Typical soldier, all they know is destroying things." She mutters under her breath, but in a way that like you can hear. I don't know how she does that, and I think you hear suddenly the bear growling has turned into a wolf howling in the distance. I'm gonna add one tick to. Sorry, I have to keep these costs competitive. I had one tick to the chosen, the horn one spider, so that's technically 3 ticks now out of 10. But you added 3 ticks to the breaking blighter sagecraft. I think you smashed through more than a few pipes for sure. And I think she actually Victoria Carhall actually drops down from where she was, which is on top of this tank. It looks slight compared to you, Farah, because you're a behemoth of a soldier. But she looks incredibly she doesn't look scared or just put off. She looks really bored. You can see her mouth is kind of pursed at this sort of holding her breath in, sort of I can't believe I have to deal with thugs sort of expression. So you're up against a level 4 lieutenant. I'm gonna turn back to the melee in the mud. I think Metislav, your rookies are holding out fine against these other rookies. You kind of diverted the threat. There's still a bunch of them kind of engaged, but you see in the distance, you see Farah break through those pipes. Zaya's run in. There's a horde of rotters, and there's Victoria Carhall. Metislav, what do you do?
Well, I mean, we've got a temporary break from these undead who are in front of us, but I think they're on us now. Unless I'm misunderstanding the situation. Oh, we didn't take care of any of them. We just managed to
you took care of definitely with Valeria.
No, we failed, so I don't think we. Oh yeah. yeah. Valeria took care of one, but we still got the rest of them in our face, right? So
yeah, there's at least 3.
Yeah. So group skirmish now against these guys, leading the rookies.
Okay. I think you are still in a desperate position. Anyone who's there.
Fair enough.
Valeria joining in this group skirmish. All right. Okay. Desperate standard for sure. Yeah. And the rookies as a squad get 1 die. Mark XP. All right, so there's a partial success at the very least.
Okay. And I'll roll 1 for the rookies.
All right. Oh, there's a 6. Valeria's gotten you a 6.
Nice. There's a 6, and the rookies don't cause me any stress. Nice.
Hey, yeah. So I think there's a difference between a living legionnaire and a dead legionnaire, and the difference is that the dead ones weren't good enough to be living. No, that's a harsh thing to say.
It's almost like we're fighting for our lives.
Sorry, Dan. Wow, my internet I nearly made Dan spit take, and my internet messed up, so I can't see them anymore. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna ask both of you for a detail, and I'll provide for the rookies what it looks like when you manage to beat down these former legionnaires. I'm gonna add one more tick to this because I think we're just so close to time. And yeah, getting rid of these rookies is grand. Yeah, I kind of a detail from Eslav and from Valeria as you take care of these rookies.
Let's see. What kind of? I just have a fine hand weapon. Has the fine hand weapon of Melislav ever been described? Do we know what it is?
No, we've never seen them wield a weapon. It's mostly just ordering people around. Now that I think about it.
So it's probably like he's an officer. He's probably got like an officer's sword type. Nice looking. What is he?
Mhm.
He's Zemyati. Yeah, so I brought a shield as well, so I'm just a sword and board, trying to protect the rookies as much as I can and just slashing away with my sword, I guess.
Cool. I think the once you get into a skirmish, the rookies who died, they're just kind of they're almost shaking in anger at having to face you. But like I said, I'm not going to reiterate what the difference between the living and the dead legionnaire is. Sorry, Chris, you have to scroll back. I nearly made Dan spit take. It was amazing. Yeah. Valeria, do you have anything to add? That's kind of like these rookies take pounds with Melislav, but it's like with just almost personal sort of anger at him.
Yeah, I think Valeria has worked her way in with the living rookies, and there's probably a couple of them that are using spears as well. So they've made a mini sort of phalanx, and she's coaching them as they will, jab somebody, kick them down with your boot, and finish them off. And so yeah, they make a efficient machine of 3 people.
Yeah, and I think that adds another tick to the clock, and yeah, you secure the rookies, and you're free and clear, no longer in a desperate position. But you hear this great wolf howling, and pipes breaking, and these rotters who kind of come on the ground, almost stand still as Victoria Carhal has jumped down from her perch onto the ground. Zaya, you're fine. You're somewhere in the superstructure of this confusing maze. And you can see there's some miasma stuff and pipes are broken. But you're in here. What do you do?
Yeah, so are there sort of undead patrolling in here or otherwise hanging about?
The only undead here are either digging, fitting something, or marching into tanks to be processed. And they're very locked into their goals. In fact, you see the pipes are gone into the ground.
Cool.
For sure.
No worries. Because I was wondering because wrecking stuff isn't Zaya's speciality. So I was wondering if there was something I could do to act as a setup. But I think that being the case, I think she's gonna pull. She has a wrecking kit on her, so I think she's gonna start pulling out a crowbar and just messing stuff up. She doesn't really know what she's going for, but she's willing to give it a try.
If we can have just a proposition, maybe there's a flashback where Velka had just in case she didn't get to the structure, had told you or all the legionnaires what to do. Because I think when we first introduced Zaya, it was the mission to rescue Velka, right? That was where she took that spear.
Yes, it was indeed.
Yes. So she remembered you.
Cool.
You weirdo. For sure.
I guess if somebody wants to use a flashback to have given Zaya some advice, that'd be cool. I'll push myself for 1 die anyway, but yeah, if anyone thinks they if not, that's cool.
Farrah could definitely give you some pointers about blowing stuff up.
Cool.
Yeah. So we'll say, ooh, what kind of pointers? Just want to know.
Oh, like look for places where several points from the structure come together. Like if you see a merging point of 2 or 3 of these pipes, plant a stick of dynamite there, or a pack of black shot, whatever we're using for the explosives. Just when you see two or more pieces of that machinery come together, blow up that meeting point, because that's a lot of trouble to fix, and that will break a bunch of different things at once with 1 pack of explosives.
I think probably in this like flashback, Velka will like butt in and the alchemist, and it's really like, all right, but you have to do it here, otherwise you're gonna create a cascade effect that will just look. This is all very technical, but like here, and she like points to, like basically the exact same spots that like Farrah pointed out, but like maybe an inch or 2 moved to to the left or to the right. We'll say that counts as an assist.
Awesome.
So take a stress, Farrah.
Do you have a devil's bargain in mind? Otherwise, I'm happy to push myself. But if you've got something you'd like to offer, I'll definitely hear it out.
Because this is an easy one, but I wanted to add this into the fiction. You don't see this because you're in the structure, but like all the spitters turn away from the fort and start shooting at the fight where the Chosen and Blighter are having whatever melee they're having. And I'm gonna add 4 ticks to that clock.
Yeah, no, I won't take that one.
Okay, fine.
I will
3 ticks. 3 ticks. No,
I will push myself on that.
Okay, all right.
So yeah,
That's
I think we see kind of Zaya. I think she sort of takes a moment to sort of check around her, make sure there's nothing immediately coming at her. She'll sort of unsling the pack of demolition tools. I think she'll pull from somewhere like basically a cigar out, light that up, keep that in her mouth, and start affixing dynamite to places. And I will roll a wreck.
Yeah, this is gonna be a great effect because you have the fine wrecking kit, but I think you're in a desperate kind of position. I know you ran out from a risky, but I think with the miasma coming out,
and yeah, she is on her own. So yeah, no, that's fair. I'll take that.
Yeah, mark XP. Oh, buddy.
Yeah, there we go.
That's a 3. Yeah, I think. What does this look like? Oh my God. Desperate as well. So let me read out what happens when you fail in a desperate roll. It's the worst outcome. You suffer severe harm, a serious complication occurs, or you lose this opportunity. I'm more interested in harm right now. So, yeah, I think you place one of the explosives, but you don't know, you're a soldier, so you would know why this explosive interacts with this composition in this way. But I think definitely it's gonna explode into your face.
Sure thing.
Sort of explosion, not enough like set everything off, but like it connects with all that. This is level 4 harm.
Yeah, I will.
Outcome, it says so.
Yeah, no, that is fair. I will attempt to resist that. Can I mark off armor and try and resist it to like reduce it down more, or is it
yes?
just,
yes?
Yeah, cool.
Yes, you can mark armor, fine, heavy. So it actually like bumps it down 2 levels because it's fine, heavy armor. So you go down from a 4 to 3, 3 to 2.
Cool. And then I will also then roll to resist to bring it down to 1. If that's
You
okay.
also have the special armor.
I'll save
from
that for the moment. I'm happy to give the roll a go.
Okay, all right. Yeah, and you get a 1+1d to resist the consequence of any roll you push yourself on. It's part of that. Is lovingly titled Soldier's Ability, Eat Iron Shit Nails. And you also have the rookie ability you took on, which is Devil's Own Luck, which gets okay. So you're gonna roll with prowess. How much
Sure.
dice is that?
That's 5 dice.
Oh my god. Like, okay, well you're gonna all right, roll to resist. Okay, so you get no stress.
No. Cool.
Yeah, so you've bumped down to level. Actually, let's see. So armor bumped you to level 2. This resist will bump you down to level 1.
Cool.
So you'll have level 1 harm. I think singed is a good one, but we'll just use that. Yeah, peppered. I've already used that. Let's just say you have level 1 harm. I know I know we're nearly close, but like I don't want to go over too much, but it feels like we might, given how this mission's going. Were people okay to push on, or do you want we can just throw a cliffhanger at that and we'll try to wrap up next session?
I'm okay to keep going for a bit longer.
Okay, all right, cool. We'll push on. You're close anyway. You're 2 ticks away. Yeah, I suppose. Okay, cool. So yeah, you've been blasted back. All right. So now I have to figure out a term for this level 1 harm.
Blasted sounds pretty good.
Yeah, blasted or scorched. Yeah,
Scorched. I like scorched.
Yeah.
So
you've been okay. No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say So I think that the you would see that kind of the explosive go off, and I think she kind of gets. She's got kind of a big helmet on anyway, and I think she manages to just slam the visor down in time. But as it kind of blasts into their face, and I think she then kind of like lifts it up, and there's a little bit of smoke curling up from underneath the visor. I think her like eyebrows are completely gone, and and she swears elaborately under her breath in Zamyati.
Nice. I think we'll cut to Farah, and Victoria is kind of like, oh, your subordinate has quite the mouth on her. What were you hoping to accomplish coming here, Legionnaire?
I think she leans forwards. Farah leans forward, and again, she's trying to basically dominate Carhal's, field of vision here, and keep her focused on her. And she says, "Originally, we were just coming to blow up this pipe dream of a mess you've created. But since you're here, I'm happy to add you to the agenda." And that's gonna touch off like basically her sort of barreling forward to try and take a couple of swings at Carhal. So, and I don't know if I need to spend a use of anchor to compete on an equal footing with Carhal or not, but you just let me know what I need to do.
Yeah, I think you basically spend anger to fight as a small group. You're absolutely going to need that. That puts you to limited. She's level 4. You start as level 1, but because you have that and you have your fine heavy weapon, it's actually going to put you up to standard.
Okay, well, I'll definitely do that. That will at least mean that I'm not. She doesn't totally dominate me.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you're rolling skirmish, I assume.
Yes.
All right. Desperate, for sure.
Okay.
So you'll mark XP there. You can't really push yourself for now. Do you want to take a bargain?
Why can't you
I know
push
you're already
yourself?
rolling.
I don't. I'm at level 4 stress. So if I push
You can
myself,
go-
I will collect. I will.
Oh, you do have curdled blood. You got that.
Well, you don't trauma until you go past your 6. But yes, we also have curdled blood. To
Okay.
keep you going.
Okay. Well, I might use that, but if I well, I'm not. Okay. So I can take.
Oh yeah,
the
that says
full-
here. Oh.
I can take the 6 stress, and that won't knock me out. I thought it did.
Yeah, when you need to mark stress and cannot.
Okay. All right. So I can push myself and reduce her threat level by 1 to bring us into slightly more equal footing.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay. All right. So I'll do that. So that'll
Instead of spending anchor.
right. And well, I can do both, right?
Yes,
Those two will work
absolutely.
together. Okay, so I'll do both, and I'll put us on. Yeah, that'll put her at 3 and me at 3, right?
Yes.
So you're right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, she's not level 3 threat because of the anchor that puts you up to limited. Fine, a heavy weapon put you up to standard, and pushing her threat level down puts you up to great. So you're now desperate great.
Okay, I'm going to use that and go skirmish on her.
I believe the scientific term is to go medieval on her whoop ass.
Yeah, we'll go early modern, late medieval.
Wow, that's a roll of 5s.
I should get a bonus for that. Come on, that's 5/5. That's 4/5.
No. The magic number is 6, not 5s.
Yes, I'm saying. Oh man,
I know that's like 5 5s, but earlier today we did get 3 3s. That's more magical, I'd say, because it was 3 3s. There's only 4 5s.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, mark XP. So you're gonna do it. So you're just gonna take a swing at her, right?
Right, and basically, basically this is more. Honestly, this is more to occupy her than to kill her, because Farah figures that Carhal wouldn't be standing her ground like this if she didn't have some tricks up her sleeve. So she figures she's at best going to basically keep her occupied while everybody else tries to blow this place up.
Yeah, so you take a swing and she doesn't even dodge. Your sword collides into her and you feel this like metallic screech as you kind of like shear through her. But there's a bit more resistance, not the kind of resistance body, blood and bone were against, but the kind of resistance like metal would. And then and she's just kind of like standing circular as you get cutter, and she's just like standing in place. And she says, "Oh, you poor stupid soldier. All you really know is just breaking things. Oh, the one thing you can't break is our march, soldier. Look how far we've come, even with your legion trying its best. But your best just isn't good enough, soldier." And her, or at least this, and I think you suddenly hear like the clacking of like clockwork, and I think you kind of tell this isn't really her here. And she grabs the bit of your sword because of success and standard, and add 1 tick to the breaking because she's not going to be here, or at least this copy of her. She grabs your sword, squeezes through, and you can see like the metal like hand kind of like squeezing around your bastard sword. And she says, "Oh no, she doesn't say anything. She said her evil monologue. So all she has left to do is explode, which she does. two things happen. One, you're gonna take, let's see, desperate level 3 harm. Things keep exploding in your point of view. This is less than Zaya, because that wasn't in the middle of a miasma tank world. One, you get exploded in the face, and two, your fine heavy weapon gets destroyed.
Okay.
You can resist. You can resist one of those,
Or
you can resist both, but they'll be rolling a lot.
I think what she's going to do is she spent her special armor. I think what she's going to do is she's going to sacrifice that shield to get rid of the level 3 harm.
It's a fine tower shield as well, so I think that will bump it down to a level 1 from 3 to 1.
Okay, well, I already have a level 1 harm, so does that give me a level 2 harm?
No, you get a second level 1 harm.
Okay, so
because there's 2 boxes there. What happens is if you have to take another level 1 harm, it'll automatically bump up to 2 because both boxes are filled.
Okay, so I'll put maybe ears ringing or something like that from the explosion.
Yes, yeah. Not concussed, because that's fairly bad, but like
that would be at least level 2, I would figure.
Yeah,
to be
ears ringing. Yeah, it's fine.
And let's see the
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know if there's much I can do. I mean, I could spend my use of the heavy armor or the heavy portion of my armor to
protect your sword.
Yeah. So.
The thing is, you'll get another fine heavy weapon after this. It just won't be the same bastard sword you used to. You can have it repaired. The thing is, losing items isn't like the worst thing in the Forge and Dark stuff. You just get them back after downtime.
Okay, yeah. I think she's gonna. I mean, the sword is going to be crushed. Like there'll be like the blade will be unusable until it gets fixed.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
but the pommel and that portion of the sword is still okay.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be about right?
Yeah.
Basically, the blade is all messed up. She can use it as a club, but it's not a sword right now. Is that okay? So she won't spend that extra thing right now. So she'll just reduce the harm, and then she'll have a large metal club instead of a sword for a while.
That's fair. Yeah. So I think the explosion also kind of throws away all these like other rotters. It's a fairly big enough explosion, but you just tank that with your shield because you're a big, tall tower. And I think to turn back to the group in the mud field, I think Velka sees that, and again you hear the howling, and you I think you know that like the Legion is almost just about to have a clean break to the fort. So I think Velka like turns to the people in the mudfield. It's like, we're here to do a mission, right? Let's do it. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. So what do you do, Mislav?
Let's all get in there and blow this place up.
Yeah, I think you know what? I think you have a clear point. You can get to Farah for sure, and I think you'll find Farah standing stoically holding this malformed thing that used to be her bastard sword. There's like this gigantic like radius of this is explosion. She literally looks like it's not the Looney Tunes sort of black soot all over her, but somehow she's standing there resolute, and you can hear like this like gas building up. There was an explosion there inside the tanker. I think, Chris suggested a group rec roll.
Do we? I think the first question though is where's Zaya?
Zaya's in the pipe works in the structure.
can I see her, or does Farah know exactly where she is, or do we need to like?
Well, Farah can say, Zaya went in there, and I heard an explosion in there a short while ago before I heard the other explosion. And Farah's talking really loudly.
Right.
I kind of like the idea of a group rec roll, and each of you can describe what you're doing as you're all like setting up. Because this is one tick away. This is probably gonna, unless all of you roll failures, which, dear Lord, please no.
Yeah. As long as we're able to like make contact with Zaya, then I'm fine with going straight to just a rec roll.
Yeah. I think
rec roll.
Because I'm interested in just getting to the rec roll. I think, and because this isn't like a closed structure, I think you can definitely see Zaya.
Yeah.
Zaya's
not managed to not be overly injured or anything, right? So.
Yes, we finagled enough mechanics where the most she took.
So Zaya can make her way to us, and we can do it.
Yeah. I think you can see her inside the structure. The thing is, she kind of got there, and I think you can see like communicate to her. Zaya, what did they see of you when you like kind of stand up, ears ringing as well, probably?
Yeah, I think Zaya is just going back to like trying to affix more dynamite to these pipes, but just doing so a bit more carefully now, so that they don't come into contact with whatever it was that did it last. It's still a bit, trial and error, but
well, now you're not doing it alone. We're doing it together.
Which does actually help Zaya because she's loyal.
There you go.
All right. So yeah, I think I want everyone to describe what they're doing for this rec roll. What they're doing to like help out. Then we can say like, oh, we kind of got through the main enemies. Now we just have to destroy this thing.
I mean, I know Melislav is just being the bossy officer, telling everybody what to do.
That's fair. Yeah, that's good. It's good enough.
Mostly just yelling at everyone to keep doing what they're doing, but faster. We got to get the hell out of here.
After tossing Farah a few vials of tonic and saying, "Here, these will help," I think Valeria Albrecht looks for any wires. I think wires were mentioned at some point, and just starts sort of snipping them away with the tip of her spear. Hey.
And I think we see maybe I think maybe Velka takes over the actual setting up of the dynamite on the superstructure, and Zaya is essentially stays behind and goes around sort of lighting the fuses on them with her cigar.
Fair.
And you see Farah basically going with this, with all that original plan. Like, she brought the fine wrecking kit as well, so like she's just basically strapping sticks of dynamite to every little conflux of pipes and wiring and whatever else, and any actual like structures that look like they might be remotely important. She's basically using up every bit of explosive she brought with her to bring this thing crashing down once we're done.
Hell yeah. All right. So this is going to be desperate great. Yeah, I feel everyone's just going to roll wreck. And Melislav's taking point because that ability lets him only suffer one stress at the most. And one fails. So yeah, desperate great. And everyone marks XP. All right, so there's success at any rate. And another one. Hey, there goes a 6. And I still have to get a roll from Melislav. I mean, you got a 6, but like we still have to. Oh,
I know. I am trying to roll. I'm having issues with my computer.
Oh, okay.
And Zaya's prowess leveled up, so she now actually has a point of rec.
Of course. Of course it did.
Learning in the field, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Okay. So give me like another minute. Brian, do you want if I roll for yourself?
Yeah, no, go for it. I get a bonus die for loyalty.
Oh yes. All right, wreck. Desperate. Great. You can get extreme effect, huh? That's nice. All right, bonus 1. Smith. All right, that's another 6. All right. So yeah, I think you set the charges. Again, all the undead here are very robotically just going through the motions, and they're just ignoring you. And I think you make a run. Some of your horses are still alive, and you get on whatever you can. Yeah, I think yes. So you make your run, and you see that like as soon as like you're at the designated spot, you're kind of almost back to where you are. The Legion have already moved on. They're making a break towards the side gate, and it's all in synchronous. It's all synchronous somehow. You get back to your starting point. The pipe works just explode, and it's a fiery sort of fire. It's kind of like purifying sort of fire. It's like this white hot sort of blaze. Like Velka prepared this specifically for the structure, and I think the undead almost kind of like all the undead that are setting up. They kind of like pause and just like look, and I think that's when the Legion cleaves their way. The whole Legion, all fully equipped, all resplendent. It's a very charge of the Rohirrim sort of thing, except you're not clearing the entire army, you're just getting to a side gate. But yeah, they just barge through. And I think for the moment it looks like your squad's like cut off because they're making their way. But then somewhere you see a glance. There's like this like fog of green and purple somewhere in the battlefield, and out zooms from it this gigantic eagle, looking a bit bloodied, not the worst for wear, and she just dives and cleaves a path through all this undead for your squad to like follow. And you follow your chosen on your horses, just like running as fast as you can, and soon you join the Legion. And I think when you get into Fort Calisco, a cheer just rings out, and y'all get inside the fort, and your commander, all the staff, everyone's waiting. Everyone gives a cheer. Well, the fort gives a cheer when the Legion comes in, but I think when the lot of you get in afterwards, it's the Legion who's cheering the loudest. So let's mark XP. All right, let's mark some sweet experience points. All right, my browser is being annoying. Okay, everyone take 1 XP if you survive the mission. You just did. We've not lost anyone in the primary mission. That's amazing. If you brought into play your heritage or traumas, 2 XP if you did both. Again, let's see if you use a trait. Per threat of the highest threat opponent in the mission, that's 4. Victoria Carhal. So yeah, that's 4 more XP. A lot of XP here. Let's go through the playbooks. Landgrave Farah, did you help your squad through might or fortitude?
I think so.
Yeah, just a smidge, just a tad, a bit of might here, some fortitude there. Valeria Albrecht, did you help the squad through medical knowledge or emotional comfort?
I threw a few tonics around, but I don't think I really helped anybody.
Yeah, should have made you roll to calm down Velka, but you were rolling pretty well, so another roll wouldn't have made that much of a difference. Melislav, did you help your squad through enforcing discipline or strategic planning?
Yeah. Came
Absolutely.
up.
Yeah. Take 1 XP. And finally, to our soldier, who I have to scroll down through a bunch of slow pages. Here it is. Did you help your Zaya? Did you help your squad through courage or determination?
I think so. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, take 1 more XP. And yeah, we don't have to make a secondary mission roll because there was none. Yeah, so you just get the rewards. You get -1 time, +3 morale, and when we get to time passes, pressure is not going to increase. Jesus Christ, you're quite a legion. And yeah, I think we'll end the session there. That was Jesus Christ. That was, oh my God, that was some action and a half. I'm gonna stop the broadcast here. But again, thanks very much again for being ever so fantastic. You folks are carrying through quite a bit. Oh, so anything anyone want to bring up? Because that's all. Some folks unmute.
Do you mind if I take those level 1 effects off of?
Oh yes,
Off of
yeah,
Terra?
yeah. Spend those tonics.
Sweet.
And geez, I don't think anyone else take any harm. You can add a tick because you have an unused use of doctor. What's level 2 to 3
Zaya
harm?
is scorched.
Yeah, I took a level 1 harm.
Yeah, but the Valerius ability is just to a level 2 or 3 harm.
I could use a tonic to do that, although that's not in the
How
we're
many
not in the
tonics
mission
do you
anymore.
That's fine.
It's heavy, so I took 4.
That's fine. I'll let you do that. All right. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna start the broadcast. Again, because we're gone over. I'll talk about debrief after the broadcast. But again, thanks very much, folks. You've been fantastic as always. I'm gonna stop the live stream now. Prepare for the creepy voice.